All right, so who's ready for some Premier League action?
Always ready for some footy.
Of course you are. Well, this week, we're diving deep into a matchup that on the surface might seem like a foregone conclusion.
Southampton versus Liverpool, right?
That's the one. We've got the Saints currently battling it out at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, they haven't had the easiest return to the Premier League.
Not at all. And then you've got Liverpool sitting pretty at the top, looking like they could run away with the title.
They've been on fire lately.
Absolutely. But before we jump to conclusions, we thought, let's dig a bit deeper. See if the stats tell a different story.
Always love a good statistical deep dive.
Me too. And trust me, there are some pretty interesting historical trends here that suggest this match might not be the walk in the park for Liverpool that many are predicting.
Oh, really? Now you've got me intrigued. Spill the beans. What have you uncovered?
Well, let's start with Southampton's home record.
Yeah, how about that? They've only lost one of their last 8 games at St. Mary's against the league leaders.
Exactly. Now that's got to make you wonder, right?
It does. Is there something about playing at home that just gives them this extra edge against the top teams?
Could be. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We do need to acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yeah, their overall form this season hasn't been great.
To put it mildly, 9 losses out of their first 11 games is a tough pill to swallow.
No doubt about it. And historically speaking, that's not a good sign.
Not at all. 7 teams with 10 or more losses at this stage have ended up being relegated.
That's a sobering stat. So relegation is a real possibility for Southampton then.
I'd say so. This losing streak has definitely put them in a precarious position. But going back to their impressive home record, there's something interesting about their tactics at St. Mary's.
Oh yeah, fill me in.
Well, they tend to adopt a very high-pressing style, especially against teams known for their possession-based football.
Interesting. So they try to disrupt the rhythm, force errors, win the ball back, high up the pitch.
Exactly. And that creates chances,
Yeah.
you know. So if they can bring that same intensity against Liverpool,
You can make things very interesting.
you got it. But even with that home advantage, wouldn't you say Liverpool's experience in these big high-pressure games gives them a psychological advantage?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Liverpool have been there and done that. They know how to handle the pressure. But let's not forget, Southampton will be playing in front of their home crowd, a crowd that's desperate for a win.
You're right. That atmosphere can be electric.
And it can definitely give the home team a boost.
Okay, so let's talk about Liverpool now. They've won 11 out of their last 13 against Southampton.
Dominant, to say the least.
And they've got this incredible record after international breaks. Only 2 losses in 26 games.
Talk about consistency. It almost feels like they've got a cheat code or something. What's the secret to their success?
Well, they've got tactical discipline for one, and their attack is relentless.
Yeah, their fullbacks are like extra wingers bombing forward all the time, creating overloads out wide.
It's a nightmare to defend against. And their off-the-ball movement. It's like poetry in motion.
They're always finding space, always creating passing options. It's like they've got a numerical advantage even when they don't.
Right. And speaking of players to watch, Cody Gakpo's been in fantastic form, especially in the second half of games.
Yeah, he's got a knack for finding the net when the game opens up a bit. Southampton's defense is going to have their hands full trying to contain him.
No doubt. But hold on, we've got this interesting Premier League trend. Top teams beating bottom teams.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Seems to happen more often than not.
It does. In fact, it's happened in 12 of the last 14 matches.
So, will this trend overpower Southampton's home advantage? Now that's a tough one. What do you think?
It really is a clash of trends, but I guess it all comes down to the tactics, right? What approach do you think each team will take?
Well, Liverpool will probably want to control the tempo, dictate the play.
Make Southampton chase the game.
Exactly. Wear them down, then hit them with their pace and movement.
Makes sense. So what about Southampton? What can they do to counter that?
Well, they might have to be more reactive, absorb the pressure.
And then hit Liverpool on the counterattack.
Right. Or look for opportunities from set pieces.
It'll be fascinating to see how this tactical battle plays out. Now, we've talked about Gakpo for Liverpool, but Southampton's got their own danger man,
Oh, you mean Adam Armstrong?
the one and only. He's been a bright spark for them this season, scored some crucial goals, and get this, he seems to have a knack for scoring against Liverpool.
No, that's interesting. He's got pace, he's direct. He could definitely cause problems for Liverpool's defense.
Agreed. Speaking of causing problems, I stumbled upon a stat that I think you'll find interesting.
Oh, I love a good stat. Lay it on me.
Only one of Liverpool's 11 games this season has seen over 3.5 goals.
That's a pretty low-scoring average for a team like Liverpool.
It is. Do you think this match could be a bit of a low-scoring affair?
It's definitely a possibility. We're seeing this trend towards lower-scoring games across the Premier League. Teams are really prioritizing defensive solidity these days.
Yeah, it seems like the days of gun-ho attacking football are gone.
Teams are more pragmatic. They'd rather be hard to beat first and then look to exploit any opportunities that come their way.
Makes sense. All right, so let's wrap things up. We've got Southampton desperate for a win with a surprisingly good home record against top teams.
But they're facing a Liverpool side that's just been dominant.
A real clash of styles and trends.
It is.
So the big question is, can Southampton defy the odds? Can they pull off an upset?
Well, I'm not going to make any predictions, but I will say this. Southampton needs to be defensively sound and make the most of their high-pressing tactics at home.
And Liverpool?
Well, they'll be looking to maintain their momentum, punish any mistakes.
So it's all to play for.
Absolutely. This match could go either way.
I love it when it's like this. Unpredictable. Exciting. So for all you listeners out there, take everything we've discussed today, weigh the evidence, and make your own prediction.
Enjoy the match.
Just give me a cracker.